Sala has won 73% of his draws. #1 in Division I here in the early going. And Fomp wins the first face-off for Syracuse. The Orange last week got off to a great start. Led Army 6. Syracuse plays it to X. Siebold. Now Rehfuss has his man hung up. Rode gets back in the cage. Quinn with a good look, time and room, and he gets Syracuse on the board first.
We talk so much about Tucker Dornovic being two-handed. Well, the next best two-handed midfielder on the Syracuse team is Lucas Quinn. Virginia's defensive midfield all night long. The rest of the defense has to support with some quick slides and help.
One lineup change for Syracuse. Owen Hiltz, the freshman, getting the start on attack, 77 in white, in place of Griffin Cook. Scanlon, and that one beats Rode. You're right about the rust. Alex Rode was not ready for that. That was one that he knows he had to have.
Look, it's one thing when you go back to practice and you think, okay, practice for 3 days and I got some good warm-ups. Live bullets are totally different. Both of these goals by Syracuse.
Cormier, new 80-second shot clock. Schellenberger with a great pass. Here's Cormier, too high. What do you like about 24 in blue?
Everything. He's a gamer, too. He reminds me of UNC's Chris Cloutier. I mean, their ability to just get shots with pressure on, and then Laviano, Anish, absolutely stings it.
We told you if you liked offense, this was the game. Laviano from Matt Moore. Few guys are better off ball than Brett Kennedy, wearing number 11. That is the most prestigious number now on that defense. You've got Grant Murphy, Nick DiPietro as well. Here's Schellenberger with a rocket to the back of the net. The #1 player coming out of high school 2 years ago. Virginia was so loaded, they redshirted him last year. First game in 2021, 7 points.
This is incredible, Anish. I mean, keep in mind lefty, so what do you do with a guy like Schellenberger? Well, you put him on the midfield, a position that he hasn't played a ton of. He's played some, but he's so smart as a Dodger and as an offensive player. His awareness and his ability to see where the pressure's coming from, because he's always been a marked man. He is a breakout star.
There's a chance, unsettled for Virginia, and it's 3 straight for the Who's. Payton Cormier off the feed from Danny Parker.
You asked me what I liked about Payton Cormier. Well, he's got ice in his veins. He's automatic when you give him some space, but Danny Parker, tremendous awareness to get that ground.
Peter Garno, he's got a quick first step. They've got Dornovic trapped on defense as well. Moore turns and fires high. He had a goal last week against Loyola, similar spot, no angle. And hit a jump shot. Charlie Bertrand makes it 4-2. The 2-time Division II Player of the Year at Merrimack, who hails from right up the road in Baldwinsville.
Well, you got Payton Cormier. He's one of the hefty lefties. The other one is...
After Syracuse scored the first 2. Liam Ferris, the freshman, 20 in white, getting some run now on that second midfield. Quinn with his second goal. What did John Desko tell us leading up to the Army game? He said Lucas Quinn looked really, really good. And he talked a lot about Quinn, a second midfielder who's come up with a couple of goals today.
Lucas Quinn, when you think about...
Into the game, 6 in blue. The highest scoring midfielder in the history of Virginia lacrosse. He spent the fall with Villanova, getting ready to play football. They didn't have a season in the fall and came back to Virginia for the spring for his 5th year. Here's Bertrand. Bertrand, top shelf. The face dodge, a little toe drag, and Charlie Bertrand has 2 in his homecoming.
This guy is going to be a big-time problem. Do you remember I just said Brett Kennedy is their best defender from Cornell, who was back for his 5th year, but the Ivy League obviously not playing. Just their ability to get those quick passes off with the flick of the wrist, and also uses his body extremely well. Watch 77 in white.
Curry's got the shorty toward the cage. The ball goes in. Does it count? It does.
If you look at the Syracuse midfield, Dordovic is the showstopper. Curry is the glue, does everything. And you see that he tiptoes, ball crosses the plane, doesn't land in the goal mouth. But you guys think you could ride? Well, Scanlon's made some huge plays riding tonight.
Curry hit the crossbar. It'll stay with Syracuse, and to your point, Kark, Virginia's only 4 of 7 clearing. Dordovic steps into it. His 5th goal of the season and his 1st of the night, ties it at 5.
I'll tell you what I like about the Syracuse offense right now. 9 different shooters in the first quarter. They're 5 or 6. It's really hard to make that decision against Virginia. Against Syracuse, when Virginia's on defense, it's a little bit easier. You know who the known playmakers and guys who can beat you off the dribble.
Seabold inside roll, and he gives Syracuse the lead at 6-5.
You had a feeling John Desko knew something about this second midfield. Lucas Quinn with 2 goals on the evening. And then Owen Seabold, who played all attack his entire career, can go after 50-50 ground balls. Asala, a phenomenal high school running back, low center of gravity. Fop, the wrestler.
On the doorstep, Trimboli. Syracuse's highest scoring midfielder the last 2 years.
You're seeing balance now. Against Army, everything was in front of the goal. Dodging midfielders. You can be ready. You could have all the reps in the world. Physically, it's going to take some time.
The good thing for Rode in a game like this, you're going to see shots.
Oh, yeah.
Here comes Cormier. Cormier with empty move. I tell you, he uses that cross like a paintbrush.
I mentioned earlier, if you like Cormier, he probably reminds you of National Championship MVP in 2016 from North Carolina, his hometown, and he's proud to be from Central New York and loves coming to the Dome.
Saved by Porter on the shot by Connors, and on the rebound, Virginia ties it at 7.
So here's the deal. You have all these unbelievable dodgers and guys like Connors who could sling it from downtown. You need some pieces in terms of dirty work.
Excuse me.
Yeah, I think they called a withholding on Soliday when he was down on the turf.
Now they seem to be picking on 32 when they can. And Seabold with his 2nd.
Seabold is a big body, and his first goal, he goes to the rack on the right side from behind.
Game in the final minute of the first half. Moore against Wyckoff. Saved by Porter. He forced it. Porter with a bullet pass to Curry. Quickly ahead, Hiltz to the wing, Rehfuss! That's how you break the ride.
You break it with athletes, quick passing, and lacrosse players with incredible IQ. Porter is the seasoned netminder. He knows we can't let them set up in this ride. It's too much trouble. But the pass by Hiltz for a freshman, 77 in white. Just
Bertrand draws the slide. Aiken. Nice defense by Durf. Moore to Schellenberger. Shoots and scores. 2 for Schellenberger. It's 10-8.
The initial breakdown of the defense happens a couple passes ago, but Virginia is so smart in terms of understanding ball rotation. We have some technical difficulties with Anish Shroff, but we're not going anywhere because this game is off the charts. Stephen Rehfuss got the memo. Where was the attack in week 1? Well, it's here in week 2. We saw Owen Hiltz, and look at the placement there. Traditionally, when a guy gets around goal line extended and has his... Cormier in transition. Porter once again with a brilliant stop. You see Owen Hiltz, the freshman, telling him, slow it down. Let's get a possession here. Curry says, not so fast. It's Syracuse, Virginia. Slow ball does not exist. The freshman calls off the offense. The senior Curry says, I'm going to have a corner. Scanlon sees Curry, and Curry has stepped up huge. Now you look at 12-8, you're like, wow, Syracuse has man up and the advantage, 4-goal lead. Virginia's not sweating right now.
Well, they might be sweating a little more now. Dordovic clanks one in. It's a 5-goal lead for the Orange, their largest of the game.
We talk about Dordovic, and he plants his foot and dodges as well as any midfielder in college lacrosse. But when he has time and room, first, pass or second.
This is Virginia's 4th game, just their 5th man-up opportunity of the season. Moore trying to go low to high. Schellenberger feeding the crease. And it's Laviano who's got a hat trick. The relaxing with Peacock jinx not in effect tonight.
Well, look, you can have all these snipers and guys on the perimeter. The crafty...
Ryan Powell growing up. And this one comes to LaSala. Now Bauer. Bauer fires and scores. That's a juice goal. Those worth a little more. Scotty Bauer, the sophomore from Texas.
That's a juice goal, and it's also very difficult to track when a guy with a big 6-foot pole is coming down and staring you down. But catch your breath.
Bertrand looking for Laviano. And Syracuse has it. Dordovic threading the defense over to Trimboli. He's got help on the wings. Rode the denial on the rebound. Dordovic cranks and scores. A hat trick for Dordovic, who's got 7 goals in 2 games now.
He's a star, people. It's that simple. A flat-out baller. You saw flashes in his freshman year. Injured sophomore year. Last year, burst on the... But his outside shooting now. So when teams then decide to flash out on him and play him as a shooter, that's going to open up his dodging.
The knowns in this game have stepped up for Syracuse. Here's another one. Durf. Over to Hiltz. Top shelf. Right off the face-off, Owen Hiltz. His second, and it's 15-10.
This is a different Syracuse team. We called the game a week ago against Army. They didn't have a scrimmage. It was their first time playing together. They had a ton of experience in the past, but there were pieces, new pieces. Doc's Aiken, he has the ball right here. He's been the man since his freshman year at UVA. Quiet in this outing. And the Syracuse defense plays him as a dodger and a scorer and dares him to feed with that slide. This is Kennedy's secret sauce. When you put him as a close defender, you take all these special plays out of his game. He roams the middle of the field. He creates have been absolute hoovers on the wings, gobbling up ground balls, and Virginia's known always ground balls, wing play. Well, guess what? Syracuse is dominating tonight, ground balls and wing play.
Rheumbas ball, it's 2021. Trimboli with a great move right on the doorstep.
Jamie Trimboli, in a 5-game sample last year, over 20 goals. He was an absolute force. You did some double duty, didn't you?
That's the word. Curry to Rehfuss, slam dunk.
Brendan Curry has been fantastic. We're seeing some incredible individual efforts in that first quarter, but you never felt like the offense was in a flow in terms of getting everyone touches.
Oh, they're in a flow. And Curry has been the ringleader today. A hat trick, 4 assists.
Last Sunday, the sky was falling in central New York with the Orange. Well, it's amazing what a week can do, and some cagey veterans like Brendan Curry, who is flat out dominating Virginia.
Rehfuss up top, and another goal by the Orange. 20-10.
Hello, Lacrosse world. My name is Owen Hiltz.
Burner against Duke.
Well, those two teams always have incredible matchups. The ACC is beyond loaded. It's laughable. But Porter can celebrate. The Cuse can celebrate because they answered the bell. What are you going to do from week 1 to week 2?